Hello and welcome to Short Take with me, Jake, and my co-host Alex.
It's me.
That is you. It's been a little while now.
Yeah.
Last one went up in, I think it was October, wasn't it?
What?
And since we recorded that episode, which was actually a little bit before it went
Yeah,
out.
it's even longer.
It was even longer. I don't think I've only seen you twice.
Yeah.
Once at game night.
Podcast is the only thing holding us together.
It literally is. Because I remember we have the same friend group. And Alex is on the periphery of it, never shows up to anything.
Okay, but hang on.
And a couple of times recently, everyone's been like, "Oh, we never see Alex anymore. Never come." And I'm always like, "I always see Alex." I'm like, "Wait, it's because we record. He has to come and see me."
It's my job
Yeah.
that I don't get paid to do.
Neither do I.
It isn't worth it.
Probably costs me money.
Yeah, not me. Well, bus tickets, I guess, maybe. Now.
That's true. Now,
Didn't
yeah.
used to.
It costs you more than it does me now. I think. Haha. So we're back for a little Christmas special. We're actually going to do 2 Christmas episodes, which is quite exciting.
Very nice.
We're going to do a double bill this week of 2 short films. Whoa. And then next week, I don't know, because they're Christmas, I think I'll probably do them both pre-Christmas Day.
Makes
so
sense.
the next one will be a ranking of the best ever objective Christmas films.
I didn't realise that's what you were saying. Yes. Yeah.
My list. Yours will be...
No, mine is
bad.
the objective. I'm very curious if it's crossover. That's what I'm most excited to see.
I think I'm just going to put some silly ones on there for fun.
No, don't do that.
Yes.
Be the best. I've really deliberately thought about what I'm going to film that.
Very, very thoroughly thought about it. Yeah. And then we'll also be back in the new year, hopefully, for a ranking of films from this year, from the whole year.
Yeah.
Feature films.
Features.
So what we're going to do is, since this isn't part of a season of the Short Take, because we're not really...
Yeah.
We're not doing a season, are we?
No.
Just doing a couple of episodes. So I'm going to call it the Sellout series.
Nice.
Where we just do...
Sellout seasonal.
Yeah.
Seasonal sellout.
We just do the popular things, really, and try and get some views.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
like a view.
Woo.
A listen.
Yeah, I do love a pair of ears. That's what I want for Christmas.
This Christmas, Santa, I'd like a pair of ears. At least a pair.
So, the films this time around, the first one we're going to talk about was picked by Alex, and the second one was picked by me. And at the end, we'll decide who picked the best film.
I didn't know you were going to do that.
Neither did I until I just said it.
Okay.
I think I already know. Oh, do I? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, actually. I'm unsure. I think we're going to have to talk about it, and then I'll decide on the spot.
But I actually like you were doing a podcast.
Do you want to do a Dissy? Even though it's a different kind of season? I can put a different bit of music in
Obviously,
if you
we
want.
use the same ditty every thing.
Well, season's over. You can do whatever you want.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, for the season, we use the same ditty every episode.
We do, yeah.
So I actually made a Christmas one.
A specific Christmas.
Specifically for
Nice.
this Christmas episode. And maybe we can use it for the other Christmas episode. I don't mind.
We'll see how we're vibing.
Yeah, one second. Let me just get out. It's on. Here it is. It's on a little scroll. And
A
then
scroll.
hang on.
A Christmas scroll.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
So let me just. So it's really hard to keep that laid out. And then in here is a link.
A link. What is it? QR code.
Yeah, I'm just typing that on my phone. And that takes me to a YouTube video, and the YouTube has a tutorial on how to use this record player.
You already did record player.
It's a record player, but the thing is, I have to play the thing backwards to get it to work. So let me press this, and it goes backwards. Last podcast, I did a good show, but the very next episode, it was Christmas. Alex and Jake recorded podcast about some short films. There it is.
It's done. Wow. Can't believe I've been waiting 2 months for that.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
worked really hard on it. The hardest bit was getting the scroll. Because I was like, I've made it by turning it backwards.
Well, so you needed a scroll with a link to a YouTube channel.
Scroll
So
with
tell
the links,
you-
but ancient scroll that links to YouTube channel. The YouTube videos from 2006.
So you're telling me that the record came before the rest of it?
I made the record.
and then you bought the record player to play it.
Yeah.
And then
But
you made the YouTube
specific.
video, or
Wait, no,
then
I
you
didn't do
made the
any of that.
scroll.
I made the record, but I made it in such a way that it only plays backwards.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know how to do that on my record player, so I had to get the scroll. I didn't make the scroll or the video.
Oh wow! So you made a record and then went on some mad quest to get a scroll that had a link to a YouTube video that you probably could have searched.
Now I think about it. Now when I really think about it, I think I could have, or like read the instructions. I'm pretty sure the button I had to press was just reverse, so I could have just looked.
There
for
is
the
actually a
record player.
button that says.
But
reverse.
I remembered hearing about the scroll, and that was just kind of where my mind went. I was like, okay, the scroll would let me do this. Yeah.
That's just the mind of a filmmaker, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If that isn't the mind of
All about dragging it out.
If that isn't the mind of a filmmaker, I don't know what is.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? Because
Uh-oh.
these two films are actually returning filmmakers, aren't they?
Whoa, and in interesting ways, because my one is an earlier film
It is.
of someone, and your one is a later film of someone.
It's the most recent film.
What the
So,
hell?
the first one is by a Dominique Fera.
Don't you say Dominique, it's Dominic. Dominique is a different name. Dominic Fera.
Yeah, Dom
who
Fera.
did Hero. We watched two of his, Hero and Hero.
What? That's the same film, Alex.
No, because, what was it, 2013
13
and
and
17?
17.
Yeah, which is
Was it
interesting. 'cause
14 and 7? No,
I
it's
think
13 and
13.
7. Yeah, 13
And this
and
one is
17.
2009, so not a massive
Oh, yeah.
gap. In fact,
Like
almost the same. Is it the same amount?
4 and then 4. Yeah, it is.
It is. It's 4 years between
That
each
is-
of these films.
That is
What a fun
crazy.
coincidence.
That is crazy.
But yeah, it's 2009. This is, I want to say it's one of his most popular things he's done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in the day. So it's 2009 YouTube, relatively early YouTube.
Yes, very. Did it come out in 2005, YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't really get anywhere until like 2006.
Yeah.
So this is like 3 years into like YouTubers kind of.
very
it was.
early.
He had done quite a lot of like viral stuff, I think. He did the Laser Collection, which was relatively popular. I think we mentioned that before in the last one. But yeah, it's called Decked. And I realised we didn't say the name.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Decked. He's made 2 sequels to it. He's made Deck 2 and Deck 3. Deck 3 was made over several parts and took ages to come out. I don't know what the deal is with him and Decked, but obviously it's something that he really enjoys doing, or that I think it may just be a case of it has quite a big fan base, and so he likes doing it.
Right.
I know that he's really into his music, and obviously it's a musical in a way. Like
It
a
is in
comedy
part, yeah.
musical. So I think that's kind of maybe why he veers into it quite a lot, or used to. But I think it's really interesting because you can see his style and his writing style in it the same way as you can in Hero and Hero 2017.
Yes.
But at a way earlier stage.
Yes.
And it's really interesting seeing these, like, you can kind of see the pieces where you're like, okay,
100%, yeah.
I see where that came from. And
Exactly.
how he did
You can see him like developing into
exactly,
a
but he's
better
still
filmmaker.
learning.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very like amateur. It's
So amateur, yeah.
But I will say it's really well put together if you really think about it. Like, it's not very well shot, and like the sound quality is all over the place. The camera quality is not great, but it works. Like, it is a film. Like, it's a little film.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Like, it
it's
has a
fairly
structure.
Good. His jokes and stuff play into it well.
Yeah.
It does have a structure. I think most importantly, which we'll probably talk about in the next episode, it has a Christmas theme.
It does.
Like, it has that heart to it, which I
Yeah.
think is the most important thing in a Christmas film.
But in an interesting way, because the film basically, I would say, Elf came out in 2003, right?
I don't know. I don't really like it.
Okay. I would say there's a big similarity with this and Elf in the sense that the premise kind of is this goes really into Christmas. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Do you know
It's
what I mean?
very American in that way, I think.
Yeah. But I do kind of enjoy the fact that the story isn't... At the end of the story, I think you're obviously meant to be happy for him because it's like, yeah, he gets to like do what he wants to do, which is celebrate Christmas and be like he is.
Yeah.
But everyone hates it. Like,
Yeah.
It's not a thing of at the end everyone's like, yeah, cool, you should celebrate Christmas. It's like, oh god, he's doing it. Like, I think that's really fun and like funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's
I think
interesting.
it was a shame that the conflict resolution was Santa knocking out the guy.
What's weird?
It was because it was like the whole thing was just like, oh, you need to give up being Christmassy. Like, I would have punched you too if you were doing all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And then Santa comes on and it's like, no, you're doing the Lord's work. You know, you're bringing Christmas cheer to all.
His favorite bringer.
And fighting is not very in the Christmas spirit, is it? We should be kind to each other. And he's like, nah, fuck this guy.
But sometimes it's okay to break
sometimes it's okay.
It is kind of a thing of it's maybe like at the expense of the story he told a joke.
Yeah. But then I think that's like it's an early filmmaker thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
you like
100%.
You know.
And I think this veers on the thing of being a sketch or being a short film.
I agree. I think it's more of the extra category of like a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think I know
like,
what you mean.
I don't know what the word is, but like it's just a YouTube creation.
Yeah.
That was very specific for YouTube.
I think Dom's performance is really good in it. I think he's
100%, yeah.
He's already nailed down like kind of his brand of comedy, I think. And
Yes.
like you can see that in Hero. I think he's very Jim Carrey, which I enjoy about him. Like, which I think
He
is
is,
really
yeah,
fun. He's just like,
yeah.
facial expressions, and he's very good at moving his body in weird ways.
Yeah.
I think the songs are really, really fun in it.
Oh,
and
you said he wrote those.
Yeah,
didn't
he's really good.
So good.
Like, and he wrote the music for Hero. I remember us when we looked at it
Yes,
at
he
the
did,
end.
didn't he? Yeah.
But yeah, he sings in it and stuff, and it's really, really fun.
This is obviously a little bit more in your face because it's like a musical.
Some of the camera shots are really clever as well. Like, there's the bit where, like, at the end of the first song, he looks up into the sky and the camera's above him, and he's like singing the final note.
Yeah.
And when I watched it the first time, like when I rewatched it recently, I was like, I didn't think about that, and then watching it again with you, I was like, oh, how did he get that shot? And I was like, did someone climb in a tree? Because it doesn't have anything.
Could have been a ladder or something.
I saw a shadow of a ladder, like in
did
that
you?
shot, in the
Did
corner.
you?
It's really
Okay.
funny. But that's still cool. Like the fact he did that, like
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
that takes effort and
Dedication.
understanding
It's
to be
like,
like,
yeah.
no, this will be the best version of this if I do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I it's a fun one to watch in the sense of again seeing his later stuff being like, oh, it's really interesting how far he came, and just like he was just making stuff and really trying.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The
I really
sequence
like
with
it.
his family at dinner is really genuinely good. And like
Yeah, I
mostly
can't-
because
like-
the performances are so hilarious.
I know.
Like I'm assuming his nan, his grandmother, is so good. And like she's so fucking funny. Every delivery is hilarious. She's adorable. It's just like, Peter, what happened to your face? It's terrible. Hey, and the bit at the beginning is a really stupid joke where it's just like she's like, I don't like corn.
Yeah.
So why do you like corn? There's a big argument. Then as soon as he sits down and it cuts her, she goes, Peter, have some of the corn. It's really nice. It's like, wait, what?
She's trying to offload it on him.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, I love that. I liked and like convincing your family to shoot that with you.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool.
That's very fun. Like,
and obviously all of his friends as well doing the music video stuff.
that was great at the beginning with the dancing and
Just
stuff.
like, yeah, I remember there was a guy in my secondary school who did a music video and it was a similar vibe, I think, of like trying to hook people into doing it.
Yeah.
It turned out really funny.
That's cool.
Probably in a bad way, but I thought it was really
yeah.
funny. But like, yeah, just like that kind of vibe is really fun.
Yeah.
Just like he was at an age where you know, confidence is at an all-time high and you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
like, I'll ask my
freedom,
friends
like
to
free time to just do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just ask my friends and family to be in this thing I'm making.
And it's great. Like it
And
works out really
it's
well.
pretty good, yeah.
I think the friend character's really interesting. I don't think he's super funny. I think he does the job he's meant to do. He really reminds me of John Oliver as Duncan in Community. Like he just seems like if they were doing like an episode of Community where they were like, we're gonna let's do an episode where it's weird and for some reason everyone's a child or a teenager. They would
be
cast
Duncan.
him as John Oliver, and like I don't know why. And also he
did
says
not make
blammo, which was so weird.
Yeah.
I'm
And he says it in a
hoping-
really weird accent, doesn't he?
Well, he's British.
Oh, is he? Okay.
So like, but
Blammo.
he's like obviously British American, where he's been in America so long. His
Yeah.
accent's kind of weird, but I do think there's I can't imagine that Dom Fera didn't write down blammo knowing he would say it and knowing it would be funny. That's all I can picture.
Yeah.
Is him being like, it'd be really funny if he said blammo.
Blammo.
Blammo. And it is funny.
Yeah,
It's so
I
weird.
said it when he said it.
Yeah.
I was just like, blammo.
Blammo.
And also I said a couple of times that I recognised locations from Hero
Yes.
2017. I was like,
Yeah.
I remember that kitchen.
Yeah, they filmed it obviously in his parents' house.
Yeah.
Which I didn't actually realise. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, because they had such a budget, I figured they probably would have hired somewhere else. Because we didn't really talk about that at all.
No,
but
we
then,
didn't.
Like,
But it's such a nice house that like I can
I mean,
understand
yeah,
why.
it's a very like suburban,
Yeah.
fancy detached house, isn't it? Looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I reckon it's probably quite. Where is he from?
Somewhere in America.
Yeah, somewhere in America, man.
It sounds like from his parents' accents that like maybe like Jersey.
I don't know American accents really.
I'm pretty sure I'm onto something there. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
I reckon you're onto something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So.
But yeah, I thought it was really nice. It was a really fun film, really enjoyable.
And again, 14 minutes, but it doesn't feel like 14 minutes.
I think it was maybe a little bit too long.
It definitely is maybe too long, but I don't think it feels as long as it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement.
It feels like it's like a 10-minute film.
Yeah.
But it's actually 14, but it shouldn't be a 10-minute
film. And I think maybe just double down on the Christmas theme, like undermining it with the last punch thing. Bit weird. But other than that, I thought it was pretty solid.
Also, there's the really good visual gag when he says like it's just Christmas, and then it cuts back to Dom. And he's sat underneath all the Christmas decoration. And he's just like, watch yourself. And it's he's like, watch yourself. Yeah. That's a good joke. Yeah. Also, that's a really clever visual joke.
Yeah. On the door, it says men's or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, I should have his bedroom door.
Do you just put like a toilet or something
yeah, which is fun.
That is funny. Quite like that.
But yeah.
Yeah. Any other closing thoughts before we move on to the next one?
I'd be interested to watch the other two because I don't think I've ever watched them.
I didn't even know they existed.
Because I've watched Decked, but a long time ago. I really don't name Decked as well. I think Decked.
Maybe we could do one a year.
Maybe. But then, like I said, the third one's like loads of different parts.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's like 3 parts that are all like 12 minutes. Oh, and then I think there's like an epilogue or something. I don't know what the fuck it could possibly be about.
Yeah.
But I'm curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could definitely do the second one next year.
Yeah, I reckon we could do the second one. That'd be fun.
But yeah,
because I feel like there's not that many Christmas short films.
I mean, we'll have to make some.
What?
That's right. I brought you here today to make a Christmas short film right now on the podcast.
Oh God!
The rest of this podcast is just the sounds of us making something. We're not directly talking.
Even like talking about it. No, we're just writing.
Action. Cut. Is the sound on?
So yeah, and it's really interesting to see his early work.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to potentially look at a later piece of his work next season.
What the
hell? Which we both watched and we're going to put in.
Wait, 2017 was his... Oh, it would be 6 years since the last one we watched. 2021.
No, 5.
5 years. He fucked it. He should have released it a year earlier.
Yeah.
Or unless if he released a film a year earlier, we should look at that. And keep the 4 years.
The one that we watched is cool. I want to.
Yeah, I know, but then we can do that in a couple more years.
Anyway, the next one on the list, my one, the most important one, is made by Standard Story Company, Ken Lam.
Nice.
Who made Will the Machine from last season.
Good film.
Yeah, pretty good film. This one was called Little Helpers. And it was a little bit horror-y, wasn't it?
Very horror-y.
Yeah, very horror-y. It's about some little elves in a hut, and they're basically being bullied.
Bullied's the word. Like, bullied's a very light word to use. They're being held captive.
And forced to make toys.
Forced labour.
Yeah, forced labour, yeah.
Yeah, slaves.
That's the vibe.
Yeah, which I think is really fun. They don't, like, it has a really clever unraveling of its mystery, I guess you could say.
Only 6 minutes as well. Yeah. So it's a third of the time nearly of
it's really, really effective. I think it's very clever. I think maybe it would be kind of... I don't know how to put this. I think like maybe it's hard to do, but a better version of this would be if they used kids.
Oh, okay.
Just in the sense that, like, because you could still do the reveal about them, because obviously there's the clever hair reveal, which moves the hair and you see the ear, and like, okay, they are elves.
Yeah.
Because I kind of figured early on when they were making stuff, in my head immediately, I was like, are they meant to be, like,
I think stuff for Santa? Because the name of the film is Little Helpers.
Which I didn't know, to be fair. But just from...
Oh, it did say it.
I didn't see it.
It flashed on the screen.
I didn't see it.
Can't read.
It was literally the first thing that came up was the snow.
No, I swear there was a bit, and then it did the title.
Nope. Okay. Literally, because as soon as you press play, I was like, that was fast, because it just went...
Oh, okay,
like
okay, alright.
And, yeah, I think you can do the reveal of, like, the move of the hair and, like, find the ears stuff, but I think there's something more interesting about the idea of them being kids rather than just 2 women. Like... Yeah. I don't know, like 2 little girls maybe instead of 2 women. Like something about that just made it different. And I think it could be more interesting if it was 2 children.
That's fair enough.
Because then also you'd think they're children and find out they're elves, and then that's also something interesting. She's like, okay, so they're maybe not kids, but
they're just like small.
Elves.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough. I think that
But that's just a minor complaint. I just think it would be more interesting that way.
Yeah.
I still think it's really good.
It is pretty good, yeah. So I hadn't watched this before, so this was both of our first viewings of this. So I think because both independently last night we watched Barbarian, new horror film, and watching this off of the back of it, I was like, oh man, like Barbarian was so well made,
really
and
good.
I was like, I think putting certain elements of that film into this, I think would have made it so much better.
In what sense?
So there was a couple of times where they were trying to focus on very specific things, like when he goes to grab the hammer, and stuff. I think the shot was a bit wide, and when she's whispering in her ear again, I think the shot was a bit too wide.
Yeah, that should have been a close up.
It should have been much. So like, you know those shots in Barbarian where like it zooms in on the phone and stuff like that. And it happens in what's that David Fincher one? I mean, it's most of them. Panic Room was a big one that I remember.
Yeah.
Just like the really like the fun punch-ins of things.
Punch-ins are always great.
I think that would have not even that necessarily if he didn't want to do that, but like the inserts of the items that were relevant to the story, they weren't quite, because like she spills over the red paint and it's like, well,
it doesn't really mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
No. It's
so you gotta switch it up and focus, and like that was a tighter shot than the whispering in the ear. Do you know what I mean? So it loses a bit of.
I think what's funny as well with that is obviously because then you get the reveal of the ear after the whisper, right? Because she brushes the hair, and then moves back, and then you see the ear. When actually, what you could have done is have the brush of the ear and then a close up of the ear, and you see it's an elf ear, and that's one reveal. And then her saying, "We can like together, we can like
take him."
Yeah, and then like. That's just like multiple layers of reveal in one shot in a more interesting way.
Yeah. You just got to frame, because I think I agree with you. It doesn't work as well the other way around.
Yeah,
being like, oh, we can take him out, and then it's an ear. Like if you're kind of retroactively being like, oh, it's Santa. They're talking about Santa. But if you do the ear first and then they say that, like, oh my god, Santa's bad.
Yeah. Then I will say though, then the cut to the sound of the bell of the door. Or the door moving, and then the cut to the door, and then her just looking at it, and then her looking around, and then the same shot as before of her stood there, but now the huge Santa's behind her is really effective.
Yeah.
When he's just there. And also the way they did it, so he's really big, is really fun, like in terms of like thinking about how they did that, but like genuinely kind of terrifying because he's there. It's not like some CG or just like a man dressed as Santa stood there. It's like you can't see his face. It's kind of like when they did the death thing in Cold as Cooler.
I was going to mention that. It's same kind of
like,
vibe.
Just clever ways of doing the camera to make him look really big.
Yeah.
Same stand stuff. And the way his gloved hands work, and you really feel intimidated by him.
When he does the clicking, he's like, get back to work. Yeah. Really like that.
Again, though, I think if they'd used kids instead of adults, it would have been more interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
He would have been even bigger.
Yeah.
Or he wouldn't even have to use someone that big, and it would still be intimidating if you shot him that way.
Yes. No, that's fair enough.
And then I didn't love the kind of. I thought it was cool, the build of her. He's like, "You're gonna open this," and then she's like,
I didn't really understand what was happening there for
it's
a
just
minute.
Being sadistic, I guess, is the idea.
It was like when it pops, he's gonna hit her with the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. But then
it takes you a second to realize that's
like,
what's
what
happening.
What does that even mean, though?
Yeah.
And then obviously it's just to build tension so that the one behind can make the decision to shoot him using the thing that the other one made, right?
Yeah,
like,
crossbow with like a sharpened candy cane. I really liked that the bolt was a candy cane. That was
really
cool.
Fun. Yeah, it's a really effective little film, and I think really well directed for the most part. I just think there's little elements of it I'm like, I wish they'd done that.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think most short films.
Yeah.
You just end up having those things.
He did this one really quick. I don't know timescales and stuff. I'm sure he'll probably release some videos on it soon, but I think he mentioned that he did this one quite quickly.
That's impressive though.
So yeah, pretty cool.
I also really like the small detail of when Santa dies at the end. The room temperature changes, like the lighting changes. It goes from blue to orange.
Yeah,
but slowly. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
I noticed that as well. It's quite nice.
Yeah,
because it was like they're free. Yeah.
That's
also,
cool.
I like that Santa just kind of evaporated.
Yeah, is that the case? Because it felt like he maybe like fell through the door just because of the sound of the door. I couldn't really tell.
No, because it was like,
but then I guess
when he entered and stuff, it was like it's not. He's more of like a mystical presence, I think is the idea, because you just see the door wobble. He doesn't come in, like it's like a wind coming in and then he's there. Do you know what I mean? So it felt maybe a little bit dissatisfying that there wasn't a body on the floor, but then it makes sense if they're going for like he's a spirit and like can.
I feel like
travel.
They could have done something with like him just falling through the door or a window or something, and then having something there for us to like identify that
He's dead.
he's dead.
Yeah.
But again, it's nitpicking. It's like it still works. Like we know he's dead. Like it's not like we're like, is he? Like no, we know. Like we get it.
He said so. He released a Patreon video today. Maybe I don't know. I'm not subscribed to the Patreon, so I can't watch the videos.
Oh.
But the title of the video was something about how the ending of the film didn't portray as well as he wanted from script to film.
Okay.
Which I'd be really interested in. What I want to subscribe to. I just don't
Do
have
it
any,
then.
I don't have any money.
Oh my god.
But I would like to at some
all
point.
the
and
big
watch
bucks you're
all of
making
that.
off the podcast, and you can't
I
afford a
know.
bloody Patreon.
All of those £0.
All those zeros.
Ooh.
Too many.
Too many zeros.
One too many.
Yeah. No other digits,
No,
just zeros.
just zeros. One of them was different. That'd be lovely.
It's like going into a deal and I'm like, I can offer you this much, and you're like, add a couple of zeros. I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Makes no difference.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool one, and I really like the take on a horror-y Christmas movie is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has done some horror stuff, but I've not seen any of it.
I mean, Will was kind of a horror movie, Will the Machine.
I
Like,
guess
it
in
has
a way,
elements of
yeah.
that.
I guess it's more of a thrillery one.
Yeah, like, it's
Not-
like social...
Yeah, it's horror in the way of like he's like a weird guy.
Somebody who was abused, and like, at the end,
Yeah.
that weird scene, like...
Yeah, where he's like doesn't want a friend. He wants.
Don't touch me!
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, no.
but I wouldn't say it was horror.
No,
I reckon. I don't know. He's got so many films out. I'm sure he's done another horror.
Must have done one.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what they're like.
Yeah.
Because I think horror is like, it is a different genre, isn't it? It's like
Quite horrible.
like there are certain things that you kind of maybe change about the way that you make a film.
Yeah.
No, you got.
Well, horror and comedy are like two of the most pure forms of like cinema and stuff, in the sense that they both, the concept is you're trying to elicit a reaction out of someone, right? Like in horror, you're just trying to spook people, and comedy, you're trying to make people laugh, and that's where they go kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Barbarian director, from what I could see, everything else he's done is comedy.
Yeah, very weird.
But I think that's the point. Is like it's the same thing. Jordan Peele, huge
Yeah.
like comedy actor,
Yeah.
and like written loads of comedy stuff,
Very
and then he
true.
went into horror because it's kind of the same. It's like if you ask any like serious actor what's the hardest thing to do, it's comedy. It's because it's like I don't know, it's a different ballpark. Like,
Yeah.
do you think if you can do
Yeah, 'cause
comedy,
it's like-
you can do horror because it's the same?
Yeah, because it's like if a comedy falls
What's
flat,
the
there's
punchline?
nothing else.
The punchline is a scare. In
Yeah.
the horror. Do you know what I mean? It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
building a scene to a punchline.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting.
It is. No, it is really interesting. Yeah, I would like to try.
And look at what we did. We picked a horror and a comedy for our shorts.
We did. We
Yes,
did.
we did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've actually made a horror, haven't I? Technically,
Every film you make.
horrible experience.
Yes.
Yes. So, to close us out, what's your second place film this year? Out of the two we've reviewed.
I think. Listen, I liked both of them, but
Yeah.
neither of them are Tickle Monster. So Tickle Monster is my pick.
That's not fair. I disqualify
I think
you.
technically, out of the two films, the better film is Little Helpers. Is that what it was called? Sorry.
Yes, it was called
Yeah.
Little Helpers.
I think technically that's the better one. I think I technically enjoyed Decked more,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because there are like other things going on with Decked. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I like Decked for the fact that I'm like, oh, this is cool because it's really, really amateur, but I can see where he develops and
Yes.
becomes something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Whereas I think Little Helpers is a better film.
Right.
So I guess Little Helpers.
But that's not the one you preferred. So.
But that's the one I think is better.
But which one is your subjective opinion? Is
I think subjectively, the better film is Little Helpers.
Okay,
But I
fine.
liked Decked more.
this is just so unhelpful.
What do you want? What's the category? What is
Just
the...
pick one.
What do you mean pick one?
Just
though?
pick one.
No. What do you mean? Like, you need to give me
You
a
pick
definitive...
one, I'll pick the
What is
other.
the statement that I'm making when I'm picking one?
What's your favourite
My favourite
of these films?
is Decked.
Okay, there we go.
That's...
There we go.
There we go.
Got there in the end.
But... objectively...
Objectively.
Little Helpers is better.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like
It's got,
Decked
like,
more.
better production and everything, hasn't it? And
More concise.
yeah. I mean, yeah, a third of the time.
It's not 3 minutes though. not Tickle Monster.
Yeah, it's double the length of Tickle Monster, so, what can you do? But yeah, I enjoy both as well, and I'm going to put both as my number one.
You son of a bitch, you can't do that. I picked one.
No, I'm going to pick... Oh, I think I'm going to pick Decked as well. But it's mostly because I don't like horror that much.
Oh, interesting.
Even though I watch it quite... Like, I watched Barbarian last night.
Yeah.
Made me very scared. Struggled to sleep.
Spooky.
Yeah, I know that they're very good films and stuff. Like, I'll always watch them, but I don't really like it that much. But the comedy... No, actually, I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say Little Helpers. Because the comedy in Decked is just a bit too American for me.
It is very American.
I'm not a fan of American comedy very much.
Interesting. Try the corn, Peter. Peter, try the corn. Oh,
Yeah, I know that you would love
I
American
shouldn't have
comedy.
said that. She's just amazing. Isn't it?
Yeah, you're just American comedy quote machine.
I love American comedy. I like all comedy.
I don't laugh ever.
No, I know that. Just did it. You're a liar.
That wasn't a laugh.
That was a sniffle.
Cool. I think that's about it, isn't it?
So that means I picked Deck. So I picked my film. You picked your film for our favourite films. Okay, cool.
Yep. That's how it was always going to go, I think. Yeah. I don't trust you.
I mean, last in our ranking of all the short films we watched, what did you rank as your favourite one?
Hero, which was yours.
And I picked Tickle Monster, which was mine. So I win.
So far.
I don't want to go on the sofa.
What?
I don't want to go on the sofa.
That's such a bad joke.
Merry Christmas.
We'll love you and leave you. And see
You're
you.
gonna gain weight. You better hit the balls as kid don't play.
I don't
If
know
there
what
was
this
a
is.
problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the beat when my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby, too cold, too cold.
What?
It's Vanilla Ice.
I know.
Yeah. Love it,
It
or
is
leave
too-
it, you better gain weight.
Okay. We'll see you next time. I don't know when these are actually going to come out. I have literally no idea.
Before Christmas.
Before Christmas, hopefully.
I hope you have a lovely Christmas after next episode.
Yeah, we can't really say any of that in case... because there's another one.
In case of lawsuits, copyright infringement of Christmas.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Get all your Christmas shopping done
Now.
like 2 weeks ago.
You should have done it.
Yeah,
Like,
too late now, mate.
I still haven't done mine because I have zero money.
Obviously you've not.
Classic.
I went to town on Saturday and it was rammed.
I need to go to the pound shop.
Yep. Everyone getting pound shop gifts this year. Yeah.
Same as last year.
Yeah. Same as every year.
It's not every year. I'm usually really good with gifts, but I don't have any money anymore.
I'm really good with gifts, and I don't have any
£8
money.
goes towards my Christmas people. A pound each
pound
in the
each.
pound shop.
Nice.
And then maybe somebody will get something nice if I find something I'm like, I have money left.
Lovely. Yeah. I'm not going to say what I got because what if they listen and then it's spoiled?
Good point. I won't say what I got because I haven't got it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see you next time
Yeah, but
on the second episode
you
of the
won't
sellout
see
seasons.
us.
But
You'll hear us, but we'll see you. Christmas edition. Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant.
Bye.